Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd have a quick look at this. We've got a Pi 8103 radio cassette recorder. Basically, I was on my way home. I had to call in at the chemist on my way home this evening. So I pulled up behind the chemist because there's a couple of parking spaces just behind the chemist. And the shop next door to the chemist has been closed for quite some time. Anyway, when I pulled up to nip in the chemist, I noticed there was a skip outside the back of the next door shop. And it was full of builder's rubble. So I thought, oh, there must be, someone must have took the shop over and doing it. Anyway, there was also a load of interesting junk in the skip. Unfortunately, most of it buried under a load of bricks, and I couldn't extract some of the stuff. I did extract a set of digital scales. They would have been incredibly nice, high precision digital scales, but unfortunately some Luddite, probably one of the builders, has decided to smash them. So they've put a hammer through the display and smashed the back and the front of them. So they're only good for salvaging bits out of. But as well as that, on top of the skip was this. So, I like tinkering with the odd bit of old junk, see if we can get something from a skip running again. I won't be keeping this. I will probably actually pass it over to my mate Andy over at Vintage Electronics Repair, because he's much more into these type of things than I am. And that's more what I'm doing this video for than anything. Let Andy have a quick squiz at it, see whether he wants to do anything with it. Now the nice thing is, it mustn't have been there for long because it's bone dry. It's not got all wet like a lot of stuff that we rake out of skips is. It probably has been kept somewhere damp though, because the chrome on it is starting to go a little bit green in places, so it might have been in a cellar or something like that for many years. I don't think it's like one of the builders' radios that's just packed up and they've chucked it, because it's, like I say, it looks like it's been stored somewhere not in the best of conditions for a long time. For something also that's been pulled out of a skip, cosmetically it's not horrendous. It's lost its aerial, I mean, that's fixable. And unfortunately, this is a real shame, it's lost its tuning knob for the end. Now, it probably, to be fair, in the skip, but it was pitch black. I could hardly see what I was doing. It was about -1 as well. It was bloody freezing tonight, and I weren't going rummage around in the skip to look for it. But I said, if Andy does want this, I'm sure he'll have a knob that he can stick on there. But apart from that, cosmetically wise, it's actually not in too horrendous condition. It's just filthy. But it's not covered in grease or anything. It's not been in like a restaurant kitchen or something where I've seen it. I've left stuff like tape players and radios that have been in the backs of kitchens because they're just coated in grease. It's nothing like that. It's just dirty. It's not greasy and gungy or disgusting or anything, or else I'd have left it. It's a probably early 1980s unit, probably made in Japan, although I haven't actually spotted anywhere on it that says made in Japan, which is quite unusual. I mean, most of this Pi stuff by the early 80s I think was made in Japan. And I like this. I mean, you don't see this much. It's got a warning on the back. When this unit is not in use, also before attempting any internal examination, remove the mains plug from the wall. It's a bit of a change from our normal no-user serviceable parts inside, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at the state of the battery. Oh, that's interesting. Right, we do know where it's made. Actually, it's got a sticker inside here. It's a Type SX 8103, and it was made in Finland, of all places. So I was honestly expecting that to be made in Japan, because I think most Pi stuff by the 70s, 80s was made in Japan, but no, this is made in Finland. We'll put some power up it and see what it does, and then we'll crack the back off it and we'll have a quick squiz inside it. We'll plug it in first and see whether it's got any life in it. Oh, I'll leave that off, I'll put that back on after. I was curious to see whether it is actually going to do anything. I've got a figure of 8 cable here anyway. So if it was damp I wouldn't be considering applying mains to it, but considering it's absolutely bone dry, I don't mind plugging it in on the mains lead. So otherwise we'd be drying it out and then slowly bringing it up on a battery source, but like I said, it's not too horrendous, so we'll plug it in and tune for maximum smoke, as they say. What cable can I unplug here? I've got one on here that I can plug it into. Right, let's see what happens. We'll fire in the hole. It's not gone bang. Let's see what happens if we switch it on. Well, it looks pretty dead. Yeah, I'm not getting anything on the radio side. That's as dead as a can of Spam. No hiss, no crackle, nothing. Let's just give the mains a wiggle on the back, just in case. I can't hear anything there. Let's see if the tape's got any life in it. No. No one's home there either. Is that oh, that's monitor. Don't think that'd do anything. Try plugging that in again. No, it does seem completely dead. That's all being that this oh yeah, I think this cable's okay. I think I've used it for testing other stuff. But other than the cable's going to be the problem. Right, well, if it doesn't work, let's crack into it and see if we can find out what's up with it. We've got 4 screws on the back, I think. We'll see how well this thing's built. It doesn't feel terribly built actually, it does feel reasonable quality. You know, from like the plastic, it doesn't feel incredibly cheap like some of the later players do. Alright, I think this is screw number 4 out. Right. We've got a long one on the top there. I think this is a shorter one. Oh no, got another long one on the top there. So look at the bottom. Make sure they're all fully loose, so we can get them out. There we go, that's one out. So at least all the screws are the same length. Right, let's see if we can get in this thing. Where does it come apart? There we are. Oh, do we have to take them 2 out as well? It's unusual having screws visible on the front. I guess so. So if we can get in it, we can apply power to it again, and we can get the old meter out and see if we've got any voltages and where they're going. Right, let's have a look now, see if we can get in it now. You have to... Right. How do we get inside? I don't want to force anything. I don't think you You have to do anything from that side. Oh well. Oh. So that's... Oh, that's weird. Why would you use 2 screws to stick that on? That's a bit OTT, isn't it? Do you have to take... Oh, at least we've got the other screw out of it. Alright, let's have a look. Don't think you have to take the handle off, no? Do you have to pull the knobs off? I wonder if you have to pull the knob off. See, that's pulling apart so far, and then it... Oh, hang on. I've missed a screw, haven't I? There we are. Let's get that one out. We missed that one. Right, now let's see if we can get in it. That's more like it. Right. There we are. We're out. Now, I'm going to disconnect that. Now the aerial is broken there, but it's probably fixable actually. I mean, it'd need a new aerial on it anyway, because the aerial snapped off. But let's try and release this screw in here. If not, I'll just snip the aerial wire and we can always solder it back on after. Let's see if we can get this thing off. Oh, it's on the actual connector, that's good. Right, we're in. Oh, this is nice as well. I mean, look, everything's actually on connection plugs. So, I mean, that's slid out there, it's disconnected. The aerial, again, is on a plug, that's disconnected. And there's our mechanism. And it actually doesn't look bad at all, that, does it? And it is bone dry, you know, no water's got in here, it's nice and dry, that. We've got a failed belt on the tape player, so no, the tape player isn't going to do anything. We do have a snapped drive belt on that. So if I do give this to Andy, that's something he can play about with, see if he can get the tape player working on it. If Andy wants it at all. I don't know, he might tell me to get stuff. Let's have a look. This is the power supply section, so that's not bad. Wonder what we can do with this here. Let's see if we can if we're getting anything out of this power supply section. So this could be the actual, this could be the issue here. I mean, if we're not getting voltage out there, then we could have an issue. We could have an issue with this power supply. Could be that transformer. Little fuse there, but that doesn't actually look blown. We've got a very basic bridge rectifier down there. It's what we've got, a 2200 UF capacitor for smoothing. All good belt and braces stuff, really. Let's get the meter out. Yeah, we'll get the old meter out. And we'll see if we've got anything coming out of the transformer here. We'll connect that on there. Connect that up on there like that, and put the power up it. And we'll see if we've got anything coming out of that transformer. Let's have a look. And what have we got? Absolutely nothing. So it looks like we've got bugger all coming out of the mains transformer on it. I wonder if that's why it doesn't work then. I don't think it's just a bad connection either. I think we've got something something wrong here. So it's either going to be the transformer itself, or it's going to be something on that little circuit board there. So it's about as simple as a DC power supply as you can really get. unplug the power from it again. Let's just quickly check that fuse, but I don't think the fuse is the issue. We'll go down onto resistance. No, as we can see, the fuse is absolutely fine. It's not the fuse that's at fault. So that really leaves something in the actual rectification of the power supply there, or it leaves the transformer. Or possibly however the power's getting into the transformer, which we've not really looked at. Excuse me. Bit of heartburn. Let's take this little board off. Right, let's have a look at this. We can now get to the connections for the back of the transformer, so we can have a look, see if we've got any AC coming out the back of that transformer. I can't see anything burnt on there, or a track or a trace burnt out. So yeah, let's get the meter over onto AC, and we'll connect these back up to the output of the transformer. And we'll measure, see if we've got any AC coming out of that. Now if we've got AC coming out of the transformer, then we know our fault is going to be on this board here. If we've no AC coming out of that transformer, then we'll have to delve and see if we've got AC coming in. And if we've got AC coming in into the transformer, we've got nothing coming out then, so we know where our problem is. Right there, we're connected onto the transformer, we're connected up, we've got the meter set to AC, so I'll stick power back in. And again, we've got absolutely nothing showing there, so it looks like we'll have a look at the input to the transformer, but we can do all that. We don't have to mess about with the mains voltage, we can do that with continuity checks. So what I'll do is I'll unplug the transformer. In fact, that's the first thing we can do, is we can check to see if we've got continuity on the secondary of the transformer. That's nice and easy to do, because all we do is we move our meter across from the AC range there down to the resistance range, and you see we've got 0, 0, 0. There we've got about 8 ohms, something like that. Yeah, around about the 8 ohm mark. Keeps jumping around a bit, but I think that's just the leads. But basically, it's not open circuit, which is what we was looking for. What we wanted to see was whether the windings on that were open circuit, and they're not. So we're going to delve a little bit deeper. In fact, first thing we can do the same test on the plug. Now this, I'm expecting to show open circuit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the transformer is bad. It just means that the mains isn't getting where it's meant to be getting. So let's just quickly try going. Let's try going across like that. And now we've got, as you can see, we've got open circuit there. So it looks like our problem is between the mains plug there. Now, like I said, it could be the primary on the transformer still, but it's in that circuit, basically, that loop between live coming in, coming through the connector on the back, through the primary of the transformer, and then back to the neutral on the plug. Somewhere in that loop there's a break. Now it could be in the transformer, but I'm actually expecting it to be more likely that it's something to do with possible like the DC switching in there for where it switches between batteries and mains and something like that that's actually causing the issue. Let's just try and get in a little bit further and we'll have a look at that. Right, so we take them off so we can get this little shield off, which should give us access to the mains input, which it does, which is right there. And we do actually have some contacts in there which were used to switch between the DC battery voltage working the radio and the mains input voltage working the radio. Now where is my switch cleaner gone? I'm sorry folks, you're just going to have to bear with me a second because I think my switch cleaner is downstairs, so 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, contact cleaner found eventually. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give basically the switch contacts in there a quick blast, and I'll give the actual pins on there. And there's another little part of the switch mechanism there. I'm just going to give all that a quick blast with some of this contact cleaner, and then I'll just try plugging and unplugging the mains lead a few times, see if that'll clean it up. And then we'll try and see if we've got continuity again. There's the mains lead. Right. So we'll give that in there a quick spray of switch cleaner. Then we'll plug and unplug the mains lead a few times. Oops, it's coming apart. Oh, it's just coming out of its thing. That's alright. Like I said, that'll just if some of them contacts have gone a bit icky over time with just sitting, that should just free them off a little bit. I'm not holding out that much hope, but what we'll do, let us see whether that's made any difference and see if we've got any continuity on that plug now. Let's go across live and neutral. Ah, look at that! We've got a read in there. We've got continuity. Right. So I think it was just that switching mechanism there was a bit gummed up. So we'll reassemble the power supply and put it back in the case, and we'll see if we've got any voltage coming out of that then, and then we can take it from there. Really see whether I think it's some smaller ones. Is it? Ah, yeah, they look about right. Make sure you get the right screws in the right holes. I do want to put these shields back on because they just basically hold everything in place and stop anyone getting shocked. And let me see if we've got a better screwdriver than that one. It's not getting on them screws very well, that one. We've got something better in here. Ah, let's try you. That's a better fit. Screw that one in. Make sure that's all nice and lined up again. Screw this one in, then we'll put the board back on. And I have a feeling we might actually get some life out of it this time. I have a feeling it's probably sat in a storage cellar or something like that for God knows how many years, and it's just built up a bit of tarnish on them contacts. Right, let's screw this back together. Pops that one in. I think there's one more screw to go in. Yeah, there. So then we can give it a quick try. See if we've got any voltage coming out of that board now. We'll select the thing back over to DC voltage. We've got our power here. Let's go onto that one. And we'll go on to that one there, and we'll plug it in, and we'll see if we get any we'll get anything out of that now. I'll plug that in first, like that. And let's plug this in to the power. There we go. And we're getting what? Just under 8 volts. So I mean, it'd use 4 D cells, so that's what, 6 volts off its DC supply. That's AC off load, so yeah, that's looking about right. Right, okay, let's quickly unplug that. Oh, I can unplug it from the back here, that would make more sense. And that's showing that even that smoothing cap must still be okay, because it's holding the voltage. It's holding the voltage quite well, that. Let's we'll connect the unit back up and see if it does anything. Yeah, we might as well run it like this actually, being that we haven't got the tuning knob and it's rather hard to turn without the tuning knob. I think that's radio. Yeah, that is. That's on FM. There's no point us messing with the tape because we know the belt's gone. But I'd just be interested to see if the radio plays, and then Andy, if you get in touch with me, if you want it, you can have it. Because it's more your thing than my thing. Right. Obviously, it's no there's something there. Let's try. It's on AM. Long wave. So that was medium wave one. I think there's something there on FM. Let me see if I can find a bit of wire as an aerial. Very quiet, but there is.
Pretty specialist.
There we are. That's not turning. Ah! Let me just quickly. I might just put it back together really quickly. It might make it easier for us to actually test. Plug that back onto there. And plug the aerial back in to the stub, and then we can plug my crop clip onto the little stub. Well, actually, no, we don't need to do that. What we need to do, because it's that's stopping it tuning. The fact that that keeps moving down like that. If we stick the thing back on it, the dial surround. like that. That should stop that jumping up. Where are the screws for that? Oh, there they are. Are they? There were some slightly shorter ones, weren't it? Now what have I just done with the screws that I took out when I took that out? Oh bloody hell. Because they're all the screws out of the... Ah, hang on, it's them two. Put them in and they should hold that front panel in, shouldn't they? I'll perhaps give the volume control a quick squirt of switch cleaner as well. But where's my straw? I need to find my straw so I can get up there. Have a quick look, see if we can find my straw, and then we can... They haven't made that easy. It's mounted right on the back of the board there. I think we can get him. If we can find my straw, we can perhaps squirt a little bit of cleaner into the back of that. Let's see if I can quickly find my straw. Come on, straw, where have you gone? I don't know what it is with them straws. No matter how many bottles of, you know, WD-40 switch cleaner, contact cleaner I buy, I can never find the bloody straws when I need one. I end up sharing a straw between about four or five different containers. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can do it without the straw. It's just it can be a bit more messy because obviously it goes everywhere and you can't squirt it quite exactly where you want it to go. That's really annoying, but I wonder if I could do something with that. I'm sure I thought I'd seen a straw kicking around in here the other day. But no, if I had, it's conspicuous by its absence. But let's see if we can do a bit of a dodgy one here. I've got a little bit of heat shrink here, quite thin heat shrink. I'm wondering if I feed that down into the no, I'll just try giving it a blast to see if we can get some to go in. Bugger it. If Andy wants this and he wants to take it all apart and do it properly, he's more than welcome to. We'll see if that's helped. Yeah, I've actually freed it off a little bit. It was a bit on the ultra stiff side. Right, let's see if this thing's going to do anything again. Let's connect that makeshift aerial back up. There we go. Put some power back up it. There we are. Right. Switch radio back on. Definitely works, but that volume control's flaky as hell. I think the selector switch is a bit... Oh, is that long wave? Yeah. Long wave appears to work. See if we can get anything on medium wave. I think it really needs... Yeah, it needs the contact cleaners.
And I'd go, hey Mum, we've got one of them, and she'd go, yeah, she'd go.
Because now I've pressed it. It's full of stations. Yeah, I think it just needs... Basically, it just needs a service.
So, well, we've got...
Because then, like I said, them controls are very flaky. I think the volume control's a bit on the flaky side. But the radio works alright. Yeah. Plenty there. And it works on all stations. So yeah, skip find Pi 81003. So I mean, I won't bother putting it back together on camera now. I will put it back together, and like I said, Andy, mate, if you want me to throw this in your junk pile for next time I come over, I'll throw it in your junk pile, because I think it'd probably come up quite nicely. Put a new belt in it. It's just a shame that that control knob on the side's missing, really. That is a bit of a bugger. But I think it's something that's probably resurrectable anyway. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little ramble over really a junk radio. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.